This is your local election headquarters.
Okay, so this is the final show of the year, so let's take a look back on some of the major political moments here in Louisiana. Looking back during the legislative session, the final moments were chaotic as lawmakers were asked to pass a budget and they didn't know what all was in it. Last minute, a $100 million budget cut came down on the Department of Health. That was a shocker. Lawmakers faced a lot of criticism by the decision in the final hours of the legislative session. The cut was ultimately vetoed by the governor and put back into their budget. The governor also doled out a number of line item vetoes to the lawmakers who did not want to bust the spending cap for the budget's investments. The legislature also held another rare veto override session. Now banning gender-affirming care for minors will become law in Louisiana. Republicans using their supermajority in the legislature to override the governor's veto of House Bill 648. The bill bans doctors from prescribing puberty blockers or hormone replacements for kids dealing with gender dysphoria. Lawmakers against the bill pointed to the high suicide rates among transgender children, saying this bill would cause those numbers to be worse.
This is an issue I know that's going to be prevalent in re-election campaigns, and it's one that I'm willing to lose over.
House Bill 648 will ensure that Louisiana's children receive help, not harm.
House Bill 648 received bipartisan support during the override session and will become law January 1st. It was a busy election season and Republicans in the state came out on top in many races. Of course, Governor-elect Jeff Landry won outright in the primary election, with his Democratic competitor not even cracking 30% of the vote. His legal partner Liz Morrell was elected to be the first female attorney general in the state. Former Congressman John Fleming will be the state treasurer, and Nancy Landry is taking over as Secretary of State. Following the stunning win by Jeff Landry that solidified him as the next governor of Louisiana without a runoff, Democrats in the state are pointing fingers in all directions over why their lead candidate couldn't muster up more support. Capitol reporter Shannon Hecht spoke with party leaders about their thoughts.
Many voters across the state have questions about why voter turnout was only 35% in a major race and why Shawn Wilson couldn't make the runoff against Jeff Landry. Apathy among voters in this race is quick to blame, but why were voters not interested? Public Service Commissioner Devontae Lewis says that it's up to the party to educate voters about who the candidates are and get them excited.
I think it's just problematic to constantly blame the voters who are struggling, who are not making a living wage, who are struggling to pay their utility bills and their mortgages, and blame them for elections when we have too many well-off people who didn't do the work themselves to ensure we had that infrastructure.
Party Chair Katie Bernhardt says that there were fundraising challenges. Landry greatly outpaced Wilson with $11 million cash on hand before the election, with Wilson not even at $1 million.
We had a much shorter runway here. And I think that was troublesome for fundraising, and it was also troublesome for building coalitions.
Some past party leadership say that there was a struggle to rally the base behind Wilson. With issues like abortion, crime, skyrocketing insurance prices, some Democrats would have liked to have the message of what is on the line for them driven home more.
We missed out on opportunities to organize around our core values. And we see time and time again when we're not able to do that.
Bernhardt says that she is going to be working for the remainder of this year to build up the party infrastructure and formulate how to bring young voters into the party.
We didn't get here overnight, and we're not going to fix it overnight, but through the consistent efforts that we've been making, we're going to grow and develop as an organization.
For your local election headquarters, I'm Shannon Hecht.
Up next, we'll have a look at the week ahead on your local election headquarters. Stay with us.